Bear with me, Yaki Aminakwaf. Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. Hey, Salakia, we're off to a bit of a late of a start today, this morning, but it's all good. We'll make it work if it's the Lord's will. But needless to say, I got some pieces of information I want to share with you, beloved Akiyam and Akwath, pretty much shedding light on the corruption that's going to come behind AI. I got an article courtesy of the beloved brother in the camp, the brother Araya. He has sent some time ago in the chat, and material that can be used in relation to this article, to this lesson, via some clips I got, again, related to this, the corruption that's going to come behind AI. And we know, Esau has technology known as facial recognition, all right? And as far as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are concerned, they've been mistakenly matched, okay, to individuals that's not them. Okay, now granted, call it AI deception via the creators behind it, and you already know they hate Jake. They seek to destroy us. Matter of fact, let me just real quick. So it's no coincidence that this technology mistakenly identifies individuals that look like Jake for another Jake that's not that Jake. You see? But anyways, let's get this real quick. We ain't foolish. We know what's up. Matter of fact, let me get this first. Let's go here. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, and verse 11. Let's get this real quick, and I'm going to get the precept I wanted. I believe it's in Proverbs. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, bro. Okay, we are not ignorant of Esau's plans, plots, and schemes, bro, which is going to come through his technology. We're not ignorant of it, man. All right, we know and understand how Esau is going to move and operate in these latter days. We know that knowledge has increased. All right, and this man's going to use this artificial intelligence to persecute the righteous, man. All right, we know this, man. This is a reality of the story, right? And it's funny because a couple of these videos I got to share with you, beloved Akiyam and Akwad, one of them's from 22 and another one's from 23. So how much more now as far as his technological advancements, man? You see? Bear with me. I want to get this real quick. See, we know what Esau is all about. Come on now. This tablet's acting up. Bear with me, Akiyam and Akwab. God damn. Wow. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. All right, let's see what I got. Screen just was whited out. Let me try to get this piece up. I want to get this real quick. All right, here we go. Here we go. The book of Psalms. I thought it was Proverbs. But it's the book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 2, and it reads, "The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor," bro. All right, and we know the poor, we're the poor, man. Our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Does this mean we're digging out of trash barrels and dumpster diving? No. Poor as in we have no strength in our hands on this carnal worldly level. Now, granted, we do have divine power. You know, we have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai backing us. But I'm speaking to the world stage. You know, we have no seat on the UN or the EU or what have you. You know, we have no standing military. You know, we're like it unto a no people. You see? So Esau, what's he do? Psalms 10 and 2 again, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. We got wicked and pride in the same breath. We know this is talking about Esau. All right, Malachi 1 and 4, he's coined as the wicked. You know, the border of wickedness. And we know he's the proudest creature created. All right, pursuant to Jeremiah. Let me go here real quick. Let me continue on. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined, bro. All right, so all these schemes that this nigga's planning on executing on us, let him fall victim, okay, to these mischievous, diabolical plans, which he's going to. Okay, the scriptures what he's doing is going to fall upon his own pate. The scriptures say it's going to fall right on his head, right? But check this out. Let's get this first piece of information. Let me see here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play the video because I got 2 videos, both short. The video in itself is 17 minutes long, but we're not playing the whole video. We're only going to play 5 minutes of it to get to the point. I want to show you what happened to this dude, right? Because of AI, all right? And it's miscalculation, all right, via face recognition. So actually, I got 2 videos concerning that in an article, but let's get this real quick. This is fair use, fair use. All right, I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use, fair use. This is from EWU Body Cam. Okay? Again, this is fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. This is for educational purposes only. All right? So we got that behind us. Let me go here. Let me open this up. Let me turn this volume up. I swear. If saying ain't working, I ain't sitting here. Hold on. Damn, man. Everything's going left when you're trying to get the lesson going. But anyways, let's go. This is crazy.
So, very peculiar. Peppermill has this pretty sophisticated artificial intelligence software that analyzes faces of previous trespassers, and they get a 100% match on this guy who, whenever they trespassed him before, presented an ID that had a different name. They look like the same exact guy.
I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike.
So either he is who he says he is, and he's not have ever actually trespassed, which I doubt because their software is pretty cool, and the fact that he's acting super suspicious. I'll be 100% honest. Could legitimately be you have a doppelganger running around.
Well, unless I've gone crazy, I'm pretty sure it's not me.
Nightmare becomes reality at a Reno, Nevada casino when AI facial recognition technology misidentifies someone, leading to a wrongful arrest and lands an innocent man behind bars.
What the good is the ID then? Why do I even carry that mother?
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with the crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On September 17, 2023, the Peppermill Casino calls the Reno Police Department to report that a trespasser has unlawfully returned to the casino. They report that they have the man in custody, but he's claiming to go by an entirely different name than the man they've previously trespassed. Officer Richard Jagger arrives at the casino at 5:48 a.m.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, thank God you're here.
The man declaring his relief at the sight of the officer is 40-year-old Jason Killinger, who is accused of trespassing at the Peppermill Casino.
So what's going on?
So we got this suspicious alert, prior trespasser,
Okay.
and we made contact with him, arrested him, and he's claimed that wasn't him. And
What does my
so
name
we're just
say
trying
on
to
the deed?
get you guys to make a phone call if it's with him or not.
So what's the issue, you guys? Did he have a different driver's license or a secondary one, or has he got more property than just this one?
Just that, those effects right there, and that's it.
1 second, pal.
But no other forms of identification. Do other things in his pocket.
You guys ran this information through our dispatch?
Through your guys' dispatch now. But after hours, comes back as that being who he says he is on his ID, but that's what we went off right there.
Yeah, and this is one of those things, you guys have this fancy software that does all this stuff, so it's like...
Officer, what's your name?
1 second, man.
A few months earlier, a man named Michael had been trespassed from the casino for sleeping on the premises.
All right, man. So this is who you are?
Yes. What, Miss Jagger is your first name or last name?
Last name.
All right, Mr. Jagger. Yes, that is who I am. I drive the semis for UPS. I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike. I'm a craps player here. Look, there's my socks for
Okay.
UPS. Can you please, you got a gun here.
So
we used to be all these cuffs. My shoulders are killing me.
You're going to sit there for a minute, man. So when he gave you this information, did you guys verify it against an ID, or how does that work?
So in that report there's an ID on there as well, and we can show you that one.
Okay.
Jason, a long combination vehicle driver, had been playing craps until about 3 a.m. when he decided to leave the Peppermill and go to the Atlantis Casino. On his way out, he stopped at a blackjack machine and started playing. There, he was approached by a security guard who addressed him as Mike. When Jason clarified that he was not Mike and presented the guard with his driver's license, the guard apologized and walked away. However, as Jason attempted to leave, he was surrounded by security guards and handcuffed. He was told that he was under arrest for trespassing.
Ain't that some shit?
I just need a break. My shoulders are killing me.
So that's the ID that he presented. Oh, B.
Look at the nose.
Yeah. Huh. Weird. Very weird. Can we snap a picture of that and run both names?
The casino's AI facial recognition software positively identified Jason as Michael, the man they had trespassed.
Can you step out just so I get better reception?
Yeah. The only thing that was weird is to go out, lift him up and see how tall he is.
Yeah.
It's on but this. That says he's 5'9", and that says 6'1".
Yeah.
This isn't the only difference between Michael and Jason's IDs. Jason is listed as 7 years younger than Michael and says that he weighs 50 pounds more. As well, the signatures are different. In his report, Officer Jagger wrote, quote, "The associated demographics on each driver's license were fairly similar, with the only major distinction being hazel and blue eyes, which are by their very nature similar eye colors and are dependent upon lighting."
And the pictures are very, the nose.
Right, and then we have our new system, our new facial recognition system, and that's what it's telling us. It's telling us that it's looking at it, and it's doing that. And then there was another one that came up when he was at the RTRK, which is one of our better cameras. This was right before we arrested him. We looked at it and said, "That's him," and it came up
100%. Okay.
100% match.
Yeah. So if the software is saying it, that it's legit.
Right.
Hey, ain't that some shit? Okay? And you see how they're standing behind that technology. You heard the cop just say, The software saying it's legit. But here it is, old boy's license and comparing to Mike, which he isn't Mike. That's what you will find out later on when you watch this video. He works for UPS. He drives the ones that those doubles and triplers that be on the major highways, them long joints. He drives them for UPS. Okay, he's a long hauler for UPS, CDL license. Mike don't got none of that on his license, man. So here it is. He has all the proof in the world that he's not Mike. Granted, he do look like Mike though. I ain't gonna sit here, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you walk up and I just see. He do look like Mike. Him and Mike look a hell of a lot alike. But he had all the paperwork necessary to prove that he wasn't Mike. And believe it or not, yeah, he got a federal lawsuit right now. When you watch the video in this totality, which we're gonna pretty much leave it right there. I got this article I want to share with you, Akiam, real quick, which is tapping into some information we're going into now. But yeah, man, isn't that some shit, bro? Okay, AI, bro, facial recognition, and look at the law enforcement stand behind it. They're not even considering. They're not even using common sense. Okay, and the cop called his dispatch. He called the headquarters and confirmed that it was legit DMV. It was a legit DMV ID, but they were still ruling out the possibility of it not being him. They just couldn't accept it. They couldn't see through the smoke that maybe the AI made a mistake. All right, and this is not the first time. And I got another video I'm gonna share. It's a real quick video. Tap into another incident that happened with a person, individual, a Jake in this case. All right, he went through wait until you find out what happened to him. Bear with me. Let me get this real quick. Now, real quick. But you're going to see where I'm going with this. At the end of the day, Evil E's going to use this technology on the ministry, bro. On the brothers, man. You see? Is what he's going to do. So I care for that shadow that's being casted. I might have to move. Bear with me. I went to shift it too quick. Bear with me. Let me move this over. We gotta get rid of that shadow. Let me see if I can. That's a little better. We'll go right here. All right, Con. So we'll do that. Con. So yeah, let's get this article real quick. There we make sure this is good. Hold on. Let me just make sure this is good because it connects to the Bluetooth. Make sure we ain't knock out no audio. Hold on. All right, now we're good. But yeah, man, you see, oh boy, he wasn't Mike, man. He wasn't Mike. But this is the reality, like I was saying. You better believe Esau's going to use this technology against the ministry, man. All right? He's going to be falsely identifying Jake. He's going to have it in court. The AI, it's 100% match. You know what I mean? Or some dramatic, crazy scenario that took off. You use your imagination, man. You already know how he's going to link brothers to things, man. But we'll be justified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're still going to be blameless before the Lord. But this is the reality, bro. All right, now I got this article. This is from Natural News. And I got one more video for you, beloved Akiam and Nakwaf. Right, and I'm Salaki for starting late. I'm short on time. I'm kind of going faster than I normally do. But it's all through the spirit. This is from Natural News. It's dated December 18th, 2025, right? And the title reads, Escape the Surveillance State, a wake-up call for the digital age. And we know through this fourth industrial revolution that Esau is pursuing, all right, it's going to be a technocracy, all right? It's going to be a government oriented around technology, man. This is why Trump surrounded himself around technocrats. This is why they're pushing for the data centers and, trying to get this thing off the ground. Because ultimately, They want to fulfill their lust with these 15-minute cities and this whole digital lockdown, bro. Okay? They want to do what China's doing on steroids, though. As Trump said, he wants to be the capital of AI technology. He said that. Check this out, right? I'm going to read a couple of these thumbnails real quick via this article to get the overview of it, and that's the point. All right, and this is talking into a book. This is tapping into this book. I used it as a thumbnail on this video. So it's tapping into this book, which is pretty much exposing Evil E. Again, another example of their tongue falling upon themselves. Anyways, the book exposes the modern surveillance apparatus, cameras, smartphones, AI tracking, and traces its roots to Cold War era spy programs, right? Like Echelon, right? It reveals post-9/11 expansions, right? Like the Patriot Act, which the Patriot Act generated out of that event that took place, right? The 9/11, you know, which allowed them to spy on you at an alarming rate. You know, it made it easier for wiretaps and all that. Look into it. You will see, right? Look at NSA's PRISM program, proving mass surveillance is ineffective against terrorism, right? But effective for control. Okay, and this is the goal. You see, they're utilizing events, right? Whether they be Black Swan or FFs, right? In efforts to push forth their unrighteous decrees and bring forth the draconian measures, bro. This is what's happening. Hey, we're not ignorant of this nigga's plans. Look at Silicon Valley's free services, Google Maps, Facebook, and Apple iCloud operate as surveillance traps, right? Harvesting intimate data through deceptive UI design. Case studies like Cambridge Analytica and Google's CensorVote show how personal data is weaponized for political manipulation and law enforcement overreach, bro. And we just witnessed that in that clip, and we're gonna witness it again, because here it is. This AI facial recognition technology. It's pretty much their lead source of evidence against you. Like that they stand by it. You heard what that cop said. He said, "Oh, the AI saying it's 100. It's got to be right." Not even considering it could be an error, which it was. Oh boy, that was not Mike. Okay, that wasn't Mike. Oh boy, got a federal lawsuit now though. But check this out. But he got a record though, because they had to bring him to the precinct, get his fingerprint. So now he got a record. But he got that federal lawsuit. He's gonna come out. He's gonna eat, right? But check this out. AI-driven surveillance, predictive policing, facial recognition, social credit systems disproportionately targets marginalized groups. All right, it disproportionately targets marginalized groups. What's a marginalized group? Right, real quick. When you get this word or this term, marginalized group, it's a marginalized group consists of people pushed to the edges of society, experiencing systematic exclusion, all right, from full social, economic, and political participation due to traits like race, gender, disability, or income, leading to unequal access, resources, and power compared to dominant groups. Now, real quick, when you jump down, bear with me. Okay, here we go. When you jump down to examples of marginalized groups, right? One of the examples is what? Religious minorities. When you get this religious minorities, right? It goes into what? A religious minority is a group whose faith differs from the dominant religion in a society. Okay? And what's the dominant religion in this society? Roman Catholicism, bro. Which Islam is a part of that. Okay? And all that falls under the U.S. Holy See. Okay? Via over there in the Vatican, at that diabolical cathedral, bro. Where the Pope sits on that throne and he controls all these religions going throughout all four corners of this earth. Okay? That unclean frog, bro. One of those unclean, in Revelation 16. Right? We are outside of that. So you already know this religious minority 100% is pinpointing and targeting the ministry. Look it. A religious minority is a group whose faith differs from the dominant religion in the society, often facing potential discrimination or marginalization, bro. You see that? And it's going to happen. As we know, pursuing the Revelations, what's that, 17? Let me go get that real quick, and we're going to get this clip. We already know. What is in is now. Hold on for a second. This thing is acting crazy. But we'll work it. Let me just get this real quick so I can get this clip. I'm already on borrowed time. Revelation 17. No, I'm sorry. Revelations 12. Forgive me. Revelations 12 and 17. Forgive me. And it reads, and the dragon, right, was wroth with the woman. The dragon being what? The Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, in the form of this system, right? This revived Western Roman Empire. And this happened already, right? What is then is now, though. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. What is in it now? This time, this is going to happen in its perfection this time, though. Right? Look it. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, right, which is talking to Israel, obviously, specifically the elect. You're going to see that. Remember, we're likened unto Jerusalem is likened unto a delicate and comely woman. It tells us this in Jeremiah, which obviously Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. It's talking to us, Israelites. All right, specifically the elect. Watch. Right? Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. And went to make war with the remnant of her seed. You see? So evil is seeking out the remnant, the elect. All right? His goal is to get at the elect. Look at which keep the commandments of power and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. This is going to be oriented around the doctrine, bro. Us keeping the commandments and having the testimony evolves around a specific doctrine, a specific religious belief. You see? Which is not of this world. It's not of this world. You see? It's Yahweh Shai's ministry resurrected. And just like how they wanted to take it down then, they're seeking to take it down now. Okay? But this time around, you already know, the elect win. Lord willing, we part of that precious number. The elect is going to win on this side, bro. All right? Salvation is at hand. But check this out real quick. Fair use, fair use. All right, this clip is for educational purposes only. All right, I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. All right, this is for educational purposes only. This is from Fox 26, Houston. Right? Check this out. Bear with me, Akiyama Nakwa. Another victim. All right, this is another victim via a false identification via AI facial recognition. This is a quick news clip. Turn this all the way up. Come on, man. Oh, here we go.
Grandfather is suing the parent companies of Macy's and Sunglass Hut after he was wrongfully accused and arrested for robbery in Harris
Salakia.
County in 2022. But that's just where the story begins. Fox 26's Anthony Antoine spoke with the victim's lawyer. He joins us now with those details. Anthony.
Well, faulty facial recognition software is at the heart of this case. 61-year-old Harvey Eugene Murphy Jr., a grandfather, was taken to jail because the technology put him as the primary suspect for that robbery. But according to the...
Salakia. This shit's tripping. Forgive me, Akiyama Nakwa. Trying to have you be able to see it, but it's acting crazy. It might need an update, to be honest with you.
Grandfather is suing the parent companies of Macy's and Sunglass Hut after he was wrongfully accused and arrested for robbery in Harris County in 2022. But that's just where the story begins. Fox 26's Anthony Antoine spoke with the victim's lawyer. He joins us now with those details. Anthony.
Well, faulty facial recognition software is at the heart of this case. 61-year-old Harvey Eugene Murphy Jr., a grandfather, was taken to jail because the technology pinned him as the primary suspect for that robbery. But according to the lawsuit, he was taken to jail, and in a matter of hours, he was beaten raped, and then released. And now, years later, he's suing. On January 22nd, 2022, this Sunglass Hut on West Gray in Houston was robbed by two armed men. The employees inside were threatened at gunpoint and taken to the back of the store while the suspects stole money and several pairs of glasses.
Sunglass Hut may not have access to facial recognition software, and so the documents show that they took the video to Macy's, who then used his features to determine that he was the one that had robbed the Macy's before, and identified him as Mr. Murphy and told Sunglass Hut.
Daniel Duco, the lawyer for 61-year-old Harvey Eugene Murphy Jr., who is from Houston, says his client was in California at the time of the crime. Murphy Jr. eventually moved back to Texas for work in October of 2023.
And he goes to the DMV to get his driver's license renewed. And the police officer comes from around the counter and puts handcuffs on him and arrests him.
And that was the beginning of a life-changing ordeal. Murphy was taken to jail for multiple felony warrants for the robbery at the Sunglass Hut. Court documents suggest the store employee was also prepped by the company and identified Murphy as the robber, with facial recognition playing a key role in his arrest. Murphy gave officers his alibi. It checked out, and he was told he would be released.
While he was being held in jail, he was going to use the restroom. He was beaten, sexually assaulted, raped.
Because of the nature of the alleged crime, lawyers say Murphy Jr. was put alongside violent criminals. 3 men followed him to the bathroom and raped him with a shank pressed against his neck. He was released and the case was dismissed. He is now suing the parent company of Sunglass Hut and Macy's for using the facial recognition software that led to his false imprisonment. The dangers of using this technology is also outlined in court documents.
I know for a fact that studies have showed that African Americans have a high rate of false positives based on facial recognition software. I also know comparing people who are older with pictures of other people when younger, so age gaps have a very high rate, up to 90% of false positives.
According to his lawyer,
And that's
Murphy
heavy.
has long-standing...
And that's heavy because when you look at what happened to old boy in Nevada, he was 10 years older than Mike that they were claiming he was. So that hits right there. That's money because they had a 90% match. I believe it was 100, as a matter of fact, right? It was 100. But he was 10 years older than dude. So the AI is making mistakes, bro. It's not perfect. But notice how they're standing behind it. These law enforcement are standing. So, man, listen, man, when this thing goes completely technocratic state, all right, again, AI is going to be the God. What the AI says, it goes. And you're already seeing them exercise the authority of AI now. It's happening. And again, Jake, you see, African Americans supposedly be hitting 90% matches, bro. It ain't much for Esau to concoct a CGI event, a CGI generated event. Take brothers, boom, boom, boom. You know? And again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, will be blameless before the throne. All right? But you can imagine this is what this demon's going to do. You already know. He's going to man, you know. But guess what? Let's go here. We'll close out with this right here. And I wish I had more time, Akiyam and Akwa Salakia. For those of you newly or recently coming in. Salakia, I started late, later than usual. So I'm kind of short. I'm on borrowed time right now. I'm actually out of time, but it is what it is. Let's close out with this. Let's go back to Revelations 12. And let's get this real quick. The book of Revelations, chapter 12. Let's go to verse 10, right? And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Evil Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, bro." So this is going to come a time where he's going to bring accusation against us, and it's not going to be fair. But at the end of the day, it's all an effort to fulfill biblical prophecy. Because when push comes to shove, as we're reading here, he's going to be stopped. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and loved not their lives unto the death. Okay? I'm going to get this right here too. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Right, the elect. Silent with the men of the Lord. Right, and you beloved Achiam and Akwat, I believe the report. Right, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, which is Esau, the deceiver, right, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, bro. All right, so as much as I am on borrowed time right now doing this lesson, you know, Evil E's on borrowed time. All right, Evil E knows that his Edomite hegemony is running out of time, bro. All right, as of July 4th of next year, 2026, and marks the 250th year. All right, of Babylon the Great's reign of terror. Right, they've been what, since 1776, right? But they like, a lot of these Edomites like to mock the date when Cristobal Colon came over here, when he came over to the Central and Southern Americas, bro, and hit up the islands, which would liken it being over 500 years they've been ruling, theoretically, or even or pretty much since they've wiggled their asses over here through the English, you know. But either way the cookie crumbles, Evil E's on borrowed time. A prophecy. All right, based off prophecy, based off what's being presented, all right, via end time prophecy. Revelations 13:16, Jake waking up, Esau being found out. All right, these are major pressure points in prophecy that will happen at the end. All right, signifying salvation drawing nigh. So Lord willing, you beloved Achiam and Akwath will edify. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed, and Lord willing, you were informed. You know, stay locked in, fast as well as pray, and get ready for persecution, because it's coming. All right, the trial of our faith, all right, is gonna come in the form of Evil E lying on us, man, and that's just one form, you know. But guaranteed, bro, this nigga's gonna use this technology to falsify information, falsify situations, bro. All right, and it's just a matter of time before he does it. You see, but at the end of the day, as long as we, you know, stand on the foundation of Yahushai, we got nothing to worry about. Because again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we'll be justified. You know, we'll be justified, man. This is the way this thing go. This is the last time. All right, point blank, period. Nahum 1:9. This is the last time. All right, this is the last time. So let's, hey, you already know. Hey, let's all travel well. You know, because at the end of the day, this is the last time. All right, Evil E will be stopped. Yahushai will come back. All right, and righteousness will be established on this planet Earth, man. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakha Kwadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, again, Lord willing, you beloved Achiam and Akwath were edified, spiritually fed, and informed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Till next time, beloved Achiam and Akwath. Shalom.